I want you to zoom out and get a proper perspective. Stop the drama of Twitter. It broke 100,000, it's falling below 100,000, it's fallen 10,000 points, and then it's going back up again. All of this is the wrong way to trade crypto. Look where we are. We've just started the banana zone. I mean, that is literally perfect. And that chart suggests that we go somewhere close to 110,000, maybe we overshoot it, whatever it is, but into the end of the year before we correct. So this is the first phase of the banana zone. We've just started. Now look at the beginning of each one of these. There's this little wiggle, which is the correction that happens in January. It's all driven by liquidity and the Bitcoin halvings and the patterns that emerge. So that correction, however long that takes, call it a month, 3 weeks, that correction ushers in phase 2 of the banana zone, which tends to be the violent propulsion of alts, the banana zone signature pattern.
The banana zone is here, and many are anticipating the bullish momentum for Bitcoin and crypto as 2024 comes to a close. As this momentum is building, the institutions are quietly positioning themselves, and Raoul says everything is about to change. Bitcoin is sitting just above 96,400, up over 4% in the last month. With the next bull market, and with crypto and technology being the biggest investments this year, Raoul says that he's remaining bullish on digital assets. The former Goldman Sachs executive gives a portfolio update. He says the next phase of the crypto cycle is critical, and why in 2025 we'll see massive capital pouring into the space. With major pension funds and institutional investors on board for the coming cycle, Raoul predicts that crypto is on track to be a $10 trillion digital asset class. Powell says that this cycle will separate itself from its predecessors, as devalued fiat currencies will push more adoption into the crypto market and bring in more capital than we've ever seen before.
This is the 5-minute chart of Bitcoin, and it's all drama. So we're expecting any day now digestion of a little bit of the move we had with Bitcoin going to 104,000, consolidate, then something will break. I don't know what it was. Sui broke yesterday, broke to the upside. Now it's consolidating. Maybe it's Doge tomorrow. And this rolling breakouts is how it happens. Then consolidation. And as people build confidence, we start moving into, okay, bigger correction to come. When you get into the speculative blow-off season, it actually tends to decouple to the upside because these are exponential assets. But right now, we're still in the point where they're highly coupled. So in September, we showed this chart and said, the first leg of the banana zone is coming. Cuts it today. I mean, that's perfect. I didn't expect that to work as well as that. I mean, that is literally perfect. And that chart suggests that we go somewhere close to 110,000, maybe we overshoot it, whatever it is, but into the end of the year before we correct. So this is the first phase of the banana zone. Really, a lot of people have too much assets spread across too many things. When you start comparing one asset to the other, you can actually narrow it down and concentrate your bets into bets that really matter. A lot of the time you think, oh, I want a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of this because that's going up and that's going up and that's breaking out. You actually underperform by doing that. I found that being more concentrated in my bets, using the don't f this up thesis, which is have, let's say, 80 or 90% in the main tokens. And those would be Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Then you can have weightings in whatever you choose it to be, where you think you're going to find outperformance, including some memes, which should be a much smaller part of your portfolio because you're likely to get wrecked. You'll have fun doing so, but you're likely to get wrecked. The business cycle peaked very quickly in March of 2021. And so we had liquidity peaking and the business cycle peaking in March 2021, and that stopped the second leg of the rally, the phase 3 of the banana zone, from really extending like it did in 2017. Conditions for me are much more similar to 2017, and that's what I think. So let's compare the previous cycles. You can see from the orange, the current pattern is looking very similar to either the 2015-18 pattern or the 18-21. We think it's much closer to the 2015-18 pattern, and that we've got an extended move to come, an extended banana. So I've always been asked and talked about my probability weightings. I do not see a peak in the cycle early, because guess what? The business cycle is at its bottom. The White House has just come in with all of the new people, their job, grow, 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 grow. They will force this economy to grow. And therefore, the business cycle has at least 9 months, probably 12 months to play out. We could even see an extended cycle into 2026, but it will be a cycle. It will not be a super cycle, because liquidity gets withdrawn and then gets eventually re-added again as the economy heats up. But the back end loaded, so we have a run into year end, a correction from liquidity, then a run into March, April. That usually is altcoin season central. Then we tend to have a pause or a pullback post-tax season. Late summer, we kick off again. 2017, we had a Bitcoin 10x'd in 4 months. So all sorts of drama can happen. So the lifestyle chips component that I've talked about a lot, I would use probably the Feb, March, April strength. If you want to take some lifestyle chips off, 20%, 15%, 30%, 50%, whatever it is you want to maintain your lifestyle, then you've got the power to run the second half of the bull market.
Raoul says it's the fastest pace of adoption of any investable asset in all of human history. By the end of 2025, there will be 1.1 billion active crypto wallets. The pace of growth is hard to comprehend, and it will be the fastest accumulation of wealth we have ever seen. This is the conclusion of a career's worth of research. And every single chart and piece of research leads to the same conclusion. Liquidity drives everything, and crypto will be the best performing asset of them all. Raoul has been stressing to investors for months that all the factors are beginning to align right now. We are heading into the banana zone, a period characterized by parabolic moves upwards in crypto prices.
You're going to be in fear all the way. Am I going to lose my money? Am I going to get this wrong? Is it going to be 2021 over again? If you've secured that thing, your mortgage on your house or your car payment or that holiday or paid off your debts, whatever that lifestyle goal is, get that sorted out as fast as possible. It will clear your head and allow you to extend the cycle, or if not, run multi-cycles. The real wealth is actually made not by trading the cycle, but by running multi-cycles, because it compounds over time. So how is it looking in markets themselves? Let's flip through some charts. Now, these were put together yesterday. Solana, here's a daily chart of Solana. Solana had a big wedge pattern, big consolidation, broke out. We're re-wedging right now. We should break out again into year end to follow that liquidity pattern, banana zone. Ethereum, this is the weekly chart of Ethereum. The weekly chart of Ethereum hasn't yet broken out, but it's very close. So whether we break out this month, which is my hunch, and then maybe retest in the January pullback from liquidity, or we pull back here for a bit and then explode through afterwards. Either way, that chart, that wedge pattern, to me is one of the most powerful patterns in all of crypto and suggests we've got a very big move in Ethereum to come. The other thing that I look at is I look at the cross rates between various crypto to try and pick the strongest one. I've already shown that Solana is very strong and it's expected to keep going higher. But when I compare SUI against Solana, it's starting to break out from this inverse head and shoulders pattern, which suggests to me that I would switch more assets from Solana into SUI. That's not saying Solana is going to go down. In fact, I think Solana does extremely well, and you should be overweighted there because it is a second cycle, more proven protocol, while SUI is newer and riskier. But it looks like the alpha is going to come from the new token, the new performer of SUI. Doge Bitcoin is I think the most humorous chart in all of humanity. What it's saying is since Doge came out in 2013, it's outperformed Bitcoin by 500%. It's suggesting that Doge is the hardest currency in the known galaxy. Now, if that chart plays out and it breaks that kind of downward sloping wedge or whatever channel, and we go to a new high, I mean, that's telling us something that we can't get our heads around, that Doge is literally better currency than Bitcoin. And I know that's contentious. I'm just looking at the charts. I find it hilarious. We may be living in a simulation, and it's probably Elon's simulation. Therefore, this works.
Powell's analysis brings attention to the liquidity cycle as a valuable indicator for understanding debasement, signifying a shift in the market's direction. He identifies a crucial turning point in June, where his weekly liquidity index hit its lowest mark. This prompted him to focus on purchasing Ethereum. Powell also acknowledges the divergence between liquidity and asset prices, emphasizing that during bull cycles driven by adoption and speculation, cryptocurrencies tend to outperform liquidity measures. Based on his findings, Raoul Pal strongly advocates for the strategic investment in cryptocurrencies, specifically highlighting Bitcoin and Ether as promising assets. He sees them as assets that surpass the performance of traditional financial institutions' balance sheets and provide a means of protection against currency debasement and the inherent flaws of the current financial system. What is your opinion on Raoul Pal's claim that investing in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ether serves as a smart hedge against currency debasement? Let us know in the comments below.